the Curious Owl here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the actually only book I can think of that is in any way one of my favorite LGBTQ based books. I feel really ashamed, honestly, to say that I can only think of one book that I've read in the last couple years since I've been on my channel that is in any way related to LGBTQ, because I am really invested in the LGBTQ movement. I am a part of the LGBTQ spectrum. I'm not going to divulge as to which part that is, but I am on that spectrum, and so it really hurts me, honestly, on the inside to realize in this video that I don't have any LGBTQ books. I have one book that has an LGBTQ romance that is a spoiler in some ways, and I'm not going to mention the characters that are involved, but I will tell you what book it is. And then I will kind of divulge into other books that I am interested in reading that are LGBTQ based, so that at least I have other books in mind that I want to be able to read in the future. So sadly, the only book I can think of that has anything to do with LGBTQ characters is Perfect by Ellen Hopkins. There is a girl that is the main character in this book that forms a relationship with another woman, and that kind of leads to some troubles later on in the story for her as there's other things that are going on. And I really liked this relationship in particular because I thought it was very genuine. I thought that it was very much a questioning aspect of the story, but it really didn't seem forced. It didn't seem like it was just something that was a phase. It truly felt that it was something that was genuine and organic and just seemed to grow and was incredibly healthy as well, despite this other person that was trying to break these two up. The relationship itself was incredibly healthy, and it was really awesome to see, because with Ellen Hopkins writing such dark material, it would make sense that there would be some toxicity involved, but the relationship itself was really, really healthy and really interesting to read. So for the other books that I want to talk about in this, I have 4 books that I can think of off the top of my head that are LGBTQ based that I am excited to be able to read, hopefully sometime in the future. It just requires me being able to actually either get them or be able to have them gifted to me by friends and family in the upcoming months with my birthday and then like Christmas and stuff like that. The first book that I can think of off the top of my head is actually any of Adam Silvera's books. I have heard so many good things about Adam Silvera's books, with History's All You Left Me, They Both Die at the End, More Happy Than Not, and then even his book that he's coming out with Becky Albertalli, What If It's Us, coming out later this year, I think. Adam Silvera, I follow him on Instagram, I follow him on Twitter. He just seems like such a real genuine person, and I feel like his writing is going to be so similar to that. I've heard so many good things about, especially They Both Die at the End, which came out towards the latter part of 2017, and I just really would like to read that because I'm just so interested in seeing how his own voices stuff fills in these stories, as I believe all 3 of his books, and even the one that is with Becky, I'm pretty sure is own voices for his own sexuality, and so I just really am excited to see what those books end up becoming for me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to love them, but I just need to be able to get them. The next actually is Becky Albertalli, any of Becky Albertalli's books. So it includes The Upside of Unrequited, Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, Leah on the Offbeat. I, again, have heard so many good things about the way that Becky writes her stories and how she portrays these characters that are somehow on the LGBTQ spectrum. I believe The Upside of Unrequited has the sister being a lesbian, I think. I can't say for sure, but I feel like that's what I've heard. But I've heard so many good things about her writing and the way that she discusses these kinds of relationships, and it doesn't seem forced, or, you know, it doesn't seem like it's just a big phase or anything. And so I'm really excited to be able to read those along with her co-authored book with Adam, so that I can see kind of how they write and see what I kind of get from them. The next book I can think of is the book, I can't remember the author's name, but it's called Let's Talk About Love, and this is dealing with an asexual character, I believe. And I will admit here that when I was a lot younger, I believed I was asexual for the longest time because I had no real sexual attractions to anyone when I was, you know, in mid-high school, and eventually that ended up passing over me. I realized that I do. It just kind of had to be with the right person, basically. And so I wanted to kind of look at this book and explore more about asexuality, as it's something that I think is very underrepresented with the LGBTQ spectrum in terms of the Own Voices novels. And I just feel like it's one of those books that's going to open my mind so much more to the idea of asexuality and what it is, and, you know, how people kind of live with it, and how, you know, what are some of the obstacles that come from being asexual. And the fourth and final book that I do want to try to read somehow in the future, whether I get it as a gift or borrow it or get it for myself in the future, which I probably am going to do by the time it comes to my birthday. I think I'm going to go on Own Voices LGBTQ spectrum hunt after this video, is We Are Okay by Lena LaCour. Now, I do have this book on hold through my library through Overdrive, so I should be getting it hopefully soon. This is one that I've heard some good things about, some bad things about. Some people just didn't know how to deal with it, but I am interested to see how this portrays, I believe, also lesbian, maybe bisexuality. I don't quite know. I'm not quite sure what it is Own Voices for. If you have any ideas, let me know down in the comments below. I would really appreciate that. But again, this is one of those books that, you know, kind of came out and some people really, really enjoyed it. Some people didn't. But I'm interested to see kind of how, you know, I think about it and what I think about in terms of the way that the relationship is, you know, written and how it's progressing and all that kind of stuff. Because it's important to realize, you know, how relationships progress, and that way you can see whether or not, you know, the progression is effective, if it seems to be kind of off in some way. That's kind of why I want to read a lot of these LGBTQ books, is because I want to look at the relationship dynamics in opposition to those of heteronormative books. So there you guys go. That's my very disappointing, honestly, list, because I only have one LGBTQ mentioned book on my shelf that I know of. I really, honestly, again, I feel very ashamed that I don't have many books that go into this, but I am looking to remedy that. So if you guys have any other great suggestions for LGBTQ Own Voices novels, please let me know down in the comments below. I would appreciate it so much, because being on the LGBTQ spectrum myself, I really feel ashamed that I have not read much LGBTQ spectrum books. Now, this could be anything from Own Voices books that are contemporary to fantasy. I really don't care. If you know of any great LGBTQ books, I would love, love, love to hear them and love to be able to find them in the future, because I do plan on doing some book shopping here fairly soon. So please let me know. And anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.